Punctuation. I know, for a lot of us, that word just brings back memories of red ink and dusty old grammar books. But what if we thought about it differently? Forget the rules for a second. Think of punctuation as your own personal writer's toolbox. It's full of these amazing little instruments that make your writing clear, sharp, and honestly, powerful. So let's open it up and see what we've got inside.
Okay, just listen to this stream of words for a second. I bought apples, oranges, bananas, and grapes. She wanted to go, but she was tired. She said, "I'm ready." Whoa. It's just a wall of text, isn't it? There's no roadmap, no guideposts. It's basically pure chaos.
Super confusing, right? That's exactly what reading something without punctuation feels like. But you know what? We can totally fix this. We're going to dive into that toolbox and pull out the right tools to bring some serious order to all this chaos.
So, here's our game plan. First up, we'll talk about why this stuff even matters. Then, we'll get into the heavy lifters, the sentence enders, and the sentence organizers. After that, we'll look at the detail marks for all that precision work. And finally, we'll put it all together and start mastering the craft.
Okay, so let's start with the big question. Why should we even care about punctuation? Well, it's pretty simple. It's all about bringing order to your ideas.
When you boil it all down, punctuation is just this set of symbols we use to organize our thoughts and really to guide our reader. I love thinking of it like traffic signals for your writing. These little marks tell your reader when to slow down, when to take a quick pause, and when to come to a complete stop. It's how you make sure your message lands exactly the way you want it to.
All right, let's grab our first set of tools from the box, the sentence enders. These guys are the most straightforward, no-nonsense marks we've got. Their whole job is to tell the reader, hey, this complete thought is officially over.
And each one has a very specific job. You've got the full stop, or the period, which is kind of your neutral workhorse. It just ends a statement. She is ready. Boom. Done. Then you have the question mark, which totally changes the vibe. Is she ready? And of course, the exclamation mark, which injects a shot of emotion. She is ready. See that? 3 simple marks, 3 completely different feelings.
Okay, so we've covered how to end a sentence. Now let's get into the good stuff, organizing everything that happens inside the sentence. These are our sentence organizers, the tools that shape the flow and connection between our ideas.
And that brings us to the undisputed champion of sentence organization, the comma. It's probably the most used and, let's be honest, the most misused tool in the entire box. But man, is it versatile.
To really get the hang of it, you just need to know its main gigs. First, it's great for separating items in a list. You know, apples, oranges, and bananas. It also gives you a nice little pause after an opening phrase. And it helps you join 2 big ideas together with a word like and or but, like in that sentence from before. She wanted to go, but she was tired.
Now, for 2 really powerful tools that people get mixed up all the time, the semicolon and the colon. Think of the semicolon as a soft period. It links 2 complete sentences that are super closely related. Like, I like tea, he prefers coffee. See, they could be separate, but they're better together. The colon, though, is like a big signpost. It basically yells, hey, get ready, here comes a list or an example. It builds anticipation for what's coming next.
I absolutely love this way of putting it. The semicolon is stronger than a comma, but weaker than a full stop. It's that perfect in-between tool for when a comma feels too weak, but a period feels way too final. It's all about finding that perfect balance.
All right, we've covered the big structural tools. Now let's zoom in and look at the fine-tuning instruments, the detail marks. These are the little guys that add all that precision and personality to our writing.
So, the apostrophe is a real multitasker. It's got 2 main jobs, and they're totally different. First, it shows ownership, right? Like in the teacher's book. And second, it steps in for missing letters when we smush words together to make contractions, turning do not into don't. Simple, but you gotta get it right.
And that brings us to the #1 apostrophe trap, it's versus its. This one gets everybody, but it's actually super simple. It's with no apostrophe shows possession like his or her. The dog wagged its tail. It's, with the apostrophe, is always short for it is or it has. If you can just lock that rule down, your writing will improve instantly, I promise.
And then we've got quotation marks. Their main job is to put a frame around the exact words someone said. When you use them, you're literally putting someone else's voice right there on the page. They're also used for things like the titles of articles or short stories.
Okay, so we've looked at all the tools one by one. Now it's time to talk about mastering the craft. This is where we move from just knowing the rules to actually putting them into practice, developing a feel for which tool to use, not just to be correct, but for real style and impact.
You know, to get good at anything, it helps to know where the common tripwires are. And, no big surprise here, missing commas are the biggest issue. Right behind that is that its versus its confusion. And yeah, going a little too crazy with the exclamation marks is a classic. Just knowing what to look out for is half the battle.
All right, time for a little pop quiz. How would you fix this sentence? It's a beautiful day. Think back to what we just talked about. What's missing here?
And there it is. It's a beautiful day. We need that apostrophe because we're saying it is. Easy peasy, right?
Okay, let's try one more. How about this one? She said, I am tired. Which tools from our kit do we need to pull out to fix this?
Perfect. She said, I am tired. You need that comma to introduce the quote, and then the quotation marks to show exactly what she said. See how they all work together? It just clicks.
So if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. These aren't just boring rules. They are tools. They are the tools you get to use to build clear, powerful messages. They give your words rhythm, they give them tone, they give them meaning.
Look, getting great at this takes practice, but every single time you use a comma in the right place or choose a semicolon on purpose, you're becoming a stronger, clearer communicator. So really, the only question left is, which one of these tools are you going to master next?